There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of that ship was privacy. The winds blew hard and fear dipped down below me, crypto boys blow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. She'd not been but 2 years from shore when her value it began to soar. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take those bankers in tow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. Before the boat had hit the water, bankers came but never caught her. All in sync we hid and fought them, then they began to know. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. No chain was cut, no block was freed, and the captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the pirates' creed and took those bankers in tow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. For fear days to be no more, the crypto sank, then rose once more. Coins were lost, yet we do endure, and still that system did go. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on, the chain's not cut, and the block's not gone. We pirates make our regular call, we're with the captain, the crew, and chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this month's meeting for EU. I'm your host, Draith, and got some awesome news today that will come in a little bit before, right after I do some quick updates on other things. So, first things first, I'd like to mention that there is an update coming to the mobile wallet. Actually, Forge is here. Forge, you want to hop in and discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the mobile wallet's done. I just need to publish it on GitHub and Play Store. I don't know if I know I've said this before, but the GitHub and the Play Store versions are not compatible. This is by design. Play Store adds trackers, so if you want the tracker-free version installed from GitHub, Play Store will not overwrite it. If you don't care about that, you can use the Play Store version. It will have the standard Play Store trackers and analytics. But some people don't care about that. But the signing keys are different, so they will not overinstall each other. Hopefully, I'll have that done within the next week or so. Yeah, so it should be good. There's not a lot of updates from 2.1. It's mainly updating the back end so this is compatible with our new Light Wallet servers. There is some optimizations. It will run a little bit faster, and it no longer requires a checkpoint. So new wallets won't need to sync from whichever the last checkpoint was in 0.1. So new wallets will be faster. So I think that's about it.
So, quick question on that whole checkpoint thing. So before, basically it's when you created a new wallet, it needed to sync from a specific point, but now, and compared to that, it just syncs from the latest block.
Yeah, before what it was is that the Light wallet had sapling Merkle tree built into the wallet. So it had a list of predefined sapling Merkle trees at specific points within the wallet. So it didn't have to build them from scratch, which is basically what it does when it syncs from the first sapling block up to the top block. It would sync from the last sapling Merkle tree that it knew up to the top block. And that's actually what Edge Wallet still does. It has the Merkle trees are still built into Edge. So it will continue syncing from a specific a block to whatever the block gets to when you're creating a new wallet. But the new back end that's been added to Skull Island, what it does is it requests the sapping tree at a block from the server, and the server will serve up the latest tree, so it doesn't have to be built.
Sweet.
hmm
And what is that? What is this expected to come out?
It's done. I just need to, get 15-20 minutes to upload it to the Play Store and roll a release on GitHub. I'm gonna I'm gonna increment it to 2.3 and then release it. But that's a very, very, very simple change. Take me like 2 minutes.
Gotcha. Cool. Awesome. So yeah,
So,
new version of mobile wallet should be out soon.
hmm Light Wallet's out. We're still trying to track down that one bug, but it doesn't seem to be affecting very many people. Like 1 or 2 people have had the issue, and I think it's a network connectivity issue. But still trying to figure that out. And then I've started working on the full node wallet again. Right now I'm just working on some quality of life issues, specifically the 5-minute timer. Been looking at ways to detect user activity to reset the timer anytime somebody is actively using the wallet, so you're not locked into that 5 minutes, so that it will only really lock out after you've been inactive for 5 minutes. So, but I
Gotcha.
don't have a
Gotcha.
release. I don't have a release date on that.
Okay. Any other developments we can look forward to?
Stuff further down the line, we're looking at. Well, we're having conversations about what we want to do with specifically zk improvements. We're having some back-end conversations about seeing if we can figure out how to add a multi-sig to sapling, or maybe looking at a different proving system. So those talks are still ongoing. We're not we haven't figured anything out yet. But yeah, we're definitely looking at bigger and better things further down the road.
Sweet. Awesome, man. Appreciate the updates.
Yep.
Cool. So the next thing on the list is war. So that was the thing I was gonna mention, the last EU meeting, or yeah, the last meeting from January, but didn't have enough time to really announce it, and plus it was going out the next after a few days from that point. So yeah, so war on Ethereum is now a thing. So it is listed on Balancer. So same deal as Binance Smart Chain, to where you can stake your war liquidity and get rewarded just like on Binance Smart Chain. And this also opens up a ton of different possibilities for us as well. While, as everyone knows, the wrapped versions of Pirate are not private, it still allows us to, go after various different products and services that are on Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain and be integrated into them, which is additional tools and all this other fun stuff that we can get into. And then obviously, when you want to go back to being private, you can just, take your war and then go through the bridge, and now you got R again. So same deal as BSC. The gateway, forget how much war it has, and I think it's like 2.25 million war just to get things kicked off. So I don't really foresee there being a need to transfer additional war to that gateway because it's set up just like the BSC version where it's all locked in a vault. 4 of 7 people have to sign off on any single transaction to be able to transfer more war to the gateway and things like that. So still secure, still good to go. So for those of you who use Ethereum, you can just go to Balancer and then swap war. So, and then the last thing on my list, but most important, is this next this next person I'm gonna bring on has been working on something that I actually planned on working on for the longest time, but it's just, between the technical details, just the logistics, all this stuff required so much time and effort that I haven't really had the time to really put into it, especially development time and everything like that, that I would need to pull other people into. But over the past, so I'll say this, since 2020, it's been developed since 2020 until now, and is ready to actually go out. It's not done by the pirate team, by the community itself. So I'll bring in Water, who has developed the pirate version of Local Monero called Local Pirate Chain. And here we go. I'm gonna pull him in. What's going on, Water? I don't think your mic is queuing. Yep, still can't hear you, Water. Oh, he's probably disconnecting and reconnecting. Still can't hear you, buddy.
Hello.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I heard something, but you're very, very low.
Let me just plug it back in. I don't know what's wrong. Just give me a second. Sorry for this.
Are you good?
Hello. Better?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. Sorry for that, guys.
Oh, you're good. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, so
How you
like
been?
you said, working on this since July 2020. And I mean, got lots of obstacles and challenges in between. So, that's why it got delayed so long. And it was between a friend and I, and, I made him a promise that I would, ultimately finish this. And I did. So, I'm glad that it's finally here. And it's 100% legit. Please don't doubt it. Just go ahead and test it if you want. And I'm open to any questions, any suggestions, and whatever you like.
Yeah, so what I figured we'd do is, we can discuss, the background of it and how it works and all this other stuff, and then after that, we can take questions from the community and everything like that. So,
Yeah.
so,
Right.
so as you mentioned, you had this in mind since when? It was 2020, right?
Yeah. That's when we got this whole idea of starting local pirate chain.
So how does it differ from local Monero? Is it essentially the same thing, or does it use different technologies, or?
It's exactly the same implementation as local Monero and local Bitcoins, although they have differences in the APIs and interfaces, but more or less it's using the same modeling, same way of showing ads, same way of trading, same way of like even the settings are almost like the same. Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't admit we're copying them, but of course, it's like local Bitcoins, local Monero, and I'm not sure if someone else has done this, but yes, now we're doing exactly how they've done it.
So how does the entire process work? Say, for example, you're a buyer. What would that process look like trying to buy R?
So if you want to buy, you don't have to place, you don't have to deposit any amount in your wallet because you're basically wanting to buy, and you yourself would receive the coins. So what you do is you place an ad, like let's say local ad or online ad, online sell ad, and someone who has coins in their wallet who wants to sell those coins to you will go ahead and click on sell, and that whatever amount they want to sell to you, and whatever your advertisement is. So basically local Monero. So you just do a trade with them. Set your amount, send a trade request. They receive a notification. They get the trade request, and you pay them. They receive the payment. You mark the trade as paid, and once that's done, then the seller will release the coins to you. And during this process, what happens is once the trade is created, the amount that is supposed to be received by you would get escrowed, would get basically locked out from the seller's account. And as soon as you mark it paid, they cannot cancel the trade. But if there's a certain limit to that, like you have to wait. I mean, if they've set a timeout, basically, that if you don't pay within the certain time duration, the amount, I mean, the seller can cancel the trade. And if you pay them and mark the trade as paid, they can no longer cancel the trade. And if there's an issue, you can dispute the trade, and then we'll come into the chat and we'll arbitrate the trade for you. So it's completely safe. I mean, that's how you can buy from local pirate chain. But if you want to sell, you'll have to deposit amount to your wallet. And once you deposit an amount, like right now we have set as 50 pirate chain is the minimum amount that you need to be able to create a online sell ad or local sell ad, which basically means that you need to at least have some amount of money or like the coins in your wallet, so that whenever someone tries to buy from you, that amount will get locked out, or you're willing to have that amount locked out in order to go through the transaction or the trade. So right now it's 50, and you might like reduce it if like our users want us to reduce it or something. But I think 50 is fine. And also it has this. It's basically copying like local Monero in like almost like the same kind of trading, same kind of chat, same kind of feedback, and then you can also import your local Monero reputation. So yeah, like, and we have like a lot of moderation features as well, and you can also block users, trust users, go on sell vacation, go on buy vacation. You can also enable 2FA. You can also enable your Telegram notifications. So a lot of work has gone into this, and I think it's like almost the same as local Monero.
Awesome. So
we've done everything that we could to implement exactly how local Monero does it.
Gotcha. So, what were some of the pain points in developing this?
Like the difficult ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the most difficult one was figuring it out, like how exactly local Monero or like local Bitcoins is creating the transactions. Like how exactly are they keeping track of transactions within, and how exactly are they allowing users to send each other coins. And I mean, this is not public, so it was very difficult to figure it out. And I think that took some time. Like it's basically like a bank. They have this internal ledger, which is just like basically an internal transaction list, and that's how they keep track of your balance. And also, I think where I got stuck was, so I thought maybe I should try creating a way to share keys with users. So let's say I have 100 ARRR in my wallet, and if I need to sell it or share it with someone who has bought it from me, what I would do is I would create a key, and I would pass that key for a certain amount to someone else, internally, and whenever they wanted to withdraw that amount, they would use that key and all that stuff. So I was going along that line, but that was like too complicated. It would get me stuck for another 2-3 months. I'm glad I figured it out, but basically that was the thing that would be like most challenging to figure out, because I think, at least to my knowledge, this isn't public, and people don't understand how this escrow thing is done.
Gotcha. Yeah. Like the idea that I had originally, which is probably way more complicated and really not feasible, was essentially kind of using the memo field for various actions and things like that for, like an automated wallet type system. But it was just, yeah, way too complicated. But
Yeah.
this sounds like it's more of like a traditional exchange with, basically people utilizing, PayPal or whatever fiat payment method that they choose or that's available.
Yeah. So the way the way you were going, and I think I was going, was trying to create like private keys and personal keys for everyone to share, and then we could do it like maybe they can even have their viewing keys and things like that. I mean that was possible, but that wouldn't really help us do moderation, and then also it wouldn't allow it to be like as quick as possible, and it would be too complicated, very complicated. Like it would be a nightmare to handle that kind of thing, and you would, if by like bad luck or some unfortunate stuff, if you got some problem in your servers or something, it would be very difficult to recreate your entire system. So I think that would be very challenging, and a lot of work, and probably more servers if you had to do like sharing viewing keys and things like that, and fully non-custodial stuff. I mean, I thought maybe we could do something much better than local Monero, but I think having something is better than nothing. So don't just get stuck in improving. Just put it out there, and then gradually we'll try to make improvements and work it up. So that was my philosophy. I basically didn't want to just keep dragging this on. I wanted to finish this as soon as possible, try to put it out there, and just implement the exact thing that Monero does, local Monero does, and then maybe you can because a lot of people have many good suggestions, like you can make it more private. You can share maybe viewing keys, or do it a way that it's more like more controllable, in a sense that people have more trust in this exchange. But I think to make it quicker and easier to do, it's best to just hold it ourselves. And as soon as the trust is like confirmed between the two, we'll just release the coins. No problem at all. If the seller asks us to release the coins, we'll immediately release them. So I think this easier and the less complicated it is, it's better. I mean, we can implement a lot of features. I mean, I think in the future we're trying to implement this mobile app, because right now our website doesn't look. I mean, like for mobile version, I think when you see the ads, it might look a little squishy because of there's not much space to describe a lot of things that are mentioned in the ads. So we're thinking of doing a mobile application in the future. But I mean, if I waited longer, and kept working on this project, and it never saw the light of day, I think it would be disappointing. Right? I'd have like, all right, let's just go ahead, even if the mobile version doesn't look that great. I think people can still come to the desktop version, make use of this platform, and we'll keep making changes and improvements and make it better.
Yeah, usually that's what happens when you keep having like good ideas or good suggestions, and you keep adding more and more and more into it. You never see the light of day when it comes to releasing an actual product. So, and more often than not, it's better to release a base version of it that works, and then build from there. This way it gets some usage, and you can you have like a checkpoint type of thing, to where you have something done, and then from that point you can just continue to build on top of that.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I think that was the most challenging part, like the transactions part, because it's very, very. I mean, you have to think like a bank basically, and also, confirmations and like that. I think the backend was the most challenging part, of course, but the transaction part, I think that was like the secret sauce. You had to figure it out. Otherwise, this thing is like you either start making your own separate wallets for each user. Of course, you have to do that, but you start making like too many nodes. You start creating like too many sweeps, things like that. So it'll be very, very challenging to like actually control your backend behavior if you went like that complicated route where you're signing memos and things like that. We could do that, but it would still be like it wouldn't be local minute, because local minute doesn't do that. We could maybe improve it in the future, but that's how it works.
So one of the questions from the community is, will you continue to support it and continue its development and growth?
Yeah, so I mean that's the plan basically, but yeah, I mean I'm just hoping it all goes well. We have to keep. Right now, I think one user just signed up. It's like I think 8 or 9 people right now. So I mean, I'm not expecting it to be like thousands all of a sudden, but right now it's seems like very small growth. But I hope it takes off, because we'll have to pay for the server costs and things like that. And I mean, that's my only concern. But yes, I'm very dedicated to this project, and I want to keep taking this forward. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to creating a mobile app for this, like Android basically, and trying to open the API for just like local Monero, and yeah, like maybe even improve the mobile version for the website. But right now, I just wanted to put this out there. I mean, it's basically like already, but only like some minor improvements, like the page. There are some pages which like FAQ page, and then I think there's this getting started page which we have to maybe show some steps to how to create ads and things like that we haven't done. So there's like still some minor things to do, but yeah, like overall the future, we are still dedicated to this project, and we want to take this forward.
Yeah, one thing that I've noticed throughout time, even with projects that end up being very successful, that come from the community in Pirate, is that a lot of times it takes a while for people to trust the app and trust. I know that trust is a uh, kind of a dirty word in crypto in a sense, but with centralized exchanges, things like that, there is a level of trust, but obviously that trust is built over time. So that's why, like, with our DMs and everything on this topic, basically, I was saying, just for everyone's information, that literally it takes time to, for a product to be in the space, to gain a level of trust from not only its users but its community as well. So this is something that I expect to grow significantly over time, especially with it being, operating smoothly, and or if there's any issues that arise, having those resolved relatively quickly and things like that. So the crypto space, especially during bear markets, there's a lot of users that are always a little bit skeptical, including myself, with a lot of things. That
Yeah.
over time, that skepticism kind of diminishes as the product thrives in that space. So that's one thing I foresee happening with this, where it'll gain some attention during its initial phases like now, and then over time it'll become as big as something like local Monero as Pirate Chain grows, because this also allows people to on and off ramp Pirate with fiat without having to go through KYC and things like that, in terms of using centralized exchanges that have those requirements. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good point. And the trust thing is very, 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 very important. And I mean, this is a new thing, and like I wouldn't advise anyone to like just go full on and deposit maybe like 100,000 or something. Just deposit 10, maybe one. Just test it out. Make a small ad. I mean, it won't break your bank. Just test it out. I mean, I have tested it out myself, of course, multiple times, and I keep doing this every day. Like, I just deposit something, like, just to check if it's all working. Did I do something wrong? There's something not working. So, I'm more worried than, maybe the users who come in. And I think, just give it a shot, try a very, very small amount, and if there's any errors, like, always reach out. We'll always support. And, if there's like maybe some transaction problem, or whatever it is, we have it all secured. Anytime, like, just reach out to us, send us your transaction, we'll figure it out. I mean, like, we are here to, like, just solve your problems if there's any. So yeah, and I understand that, and I think it'll take time for people to actually come onto this and get used to, if they've never used local Monero or local Bitcoins. I mean, yeah, like, I'll try to put up a guide very soon. And I mean, but if you have already used local Monero, which I mean, our thing was that we want to have people trade like local Monero on local Pirate Chain. So that was the whole philosophy. And anyone who has been on local Monero and deals with Pirate Chain, I think they should just come and try it out. They'll love it, and they'll probably like make a lot of profits here. And it's much, I think, I don't know. Yeah, it's much simpler, much better to do trades here. Just contact people directly, pay them, release the coins. That's it. So it's very, very easy, and it's all anonymous. Like, you don't. I mean, yeah, completely anonymous, and 100% safe. Because, and I think one concern would be that we are not registered as a company yet. We're basically just it's a project we're just working on right now. It's not registered, which I think maybe some people might not like that, but I think we should probably get registered in the future if this thing goes well, because right now it's almost like difficult to take things forward without actually seeing some glimmer of success, or like, all right, maybe we should go like totally legal with this, and get ourselves taxed and everything. I don't know. Local Monero has this, but I think the company is dissolved right now, but they're still going on with that. But I think this shouldn't really matter to someone who uses Pirate Chain. They shouldn't be worried about this stuff. The only
yeah,
thing they should be worried.
I don't really foresee
Yeah.
that being an issue that arises. Oh shit! What was the question that I had? But if you were to actually start a business doing that, like start a company for this, where would it be based out of? Or is this something like you haven't really
I think
put too much thought into yet?
Yeah, I think this is like no KYC zone. So, anywhere I go, we take this company, it'll be difficult to get ourselves, registered like that. But I'm not really sure about that. I've not thought of that. Our initial plan was we'll go to, British Virgin Islands and, set it up all there and everything. But no, I mean, right now I feel like wherever you, it's fine. Don't worry. This is all, on the server, so it won't be a problem. And also this is price chain, so I mean, untraceable, so no problem at all. But if we have to register ourselves, I mean, right now, I have no idea. Really, no idea. Don't know. I mean, haven't thought of it at all.
Gotcha. All right. So if anybody has any questions, post them in chat or raise your hand, and I'll bring you in to bring you into the voice chat. So I think I see Lutz. Yeah, Lutz has a question. I'll invite him.
Yo,
What's up, Lutz?
what's up? Good afternoon. So I started working on this project a long time ago, and the developer that was building it got stuck on the back end. He couldn't figure out the back end, which looks like you did.
Yep.
So how does the escrows work technically on the back end?
All right.
If you look at the UI I posted, he did a nice job on the UI, but he couldn't figure out how to connect the escrow in the back end.
All right. So the way it works is basically you have a list of transactions, like all the transactions are saved as transactions, and escrows are basically like locking out your transaction. So once you have, let's say, I put up an ad, and you want to buy from me. As soon as you buy from me, an amount of my wallet will be saved as an escrow, but as soon as it's released, it will be converted into a transaction. So if someone understands this language, they'll figure it out. They'll write a code to create a transaction as soon as your escrow is released, and that's how you calculate your balance and keep track of your balance. And everything
Is that using?
saved as something.
Is that using like a smart contract?
No.
An AT?
I mean, you could do that with smart contracts very easily, but the way we do it is not smart contracts, and the way you should do it is not smart contracts. But I mean, if you want to do it, that's good. But it'll probably take you a long time to issue contracts and things like that. I don't know, but it depends on what you're using. So, but the way I think all these P2P exchanges, anyone who's doing P2P does it. Basically, they're keeping a ledger of everything in transactions. And as soon as you create, a request, there will be an escrow, which will then, calculate the transactions, and then that escrow part will be basically subtracted out of the transaction, and that's how you get, now that phantom balance. And as soon as that escrow is released from the sellers or whatever the buyer side, the transaction will then be processed, into new transaction. Like the escrow will be then completed, and then you'll be issued the sum or whatever the amount.
So it's all done on chain. Sounds like it's all done on chain.
No.
There's no third layer, right? There's no extra layer doing this, right?
No, I mean, you can do it on chain, but it's not done on chain. The chain part is different. Yeah, but the chain part is different, because thing is you have to keep track of everyone's transactions, and then you have to share those transactions. Let's say I'm buying some buy it from you. You're selling 100 to me, and as soon as you sell, what happens is it's not becoming a new transaction. The trade is creating a transaction which is being shared between two people, which is like I'm subtracting from you and adding it to someone else. So you can't do that with like creating smart contracts and then complicating things further. Like it'll be very difficult. So I mean, there's a trap basically. Like you can get stuck in there. The thing is very simple. You just have to calculate your balances like very, very accurately, and keep track of how you're creating transactions and things like that. So the most important thing is transaction and calculations. You can't miss the calculations.
Gotcha.
And
I use local Monero regularly, and
Okay.
the best way to make money using local Monero is something called cash by mail.
Yeah,
Is that an
we've got that.
option?
Yeah. So the way you can do cash by mail is create any ad, and if someone has, let's say, you want to create a cash by mail ad, create an online sell ad, which basically will escrow by default. Okay, any online ad will be escrowed by default. So let's say you want to do cash by mail, go to the parachain website, click on create ad, go and create a sell ad. Let's say you want to sell parachain, so someone sends you cash, and then you release the coins. So do that. Once someone clicks on, let's say, your ad, you can go to first, like, let's create your ad. So create a sell ad or buy ad, choose cash by mail, and once you get a trade request, what that person will have to do is they'll have to package the cash and send you pictures or whatever proof they need to. It depends on your trade agreement, and then they will send it via mail or whatever post office, and they'll click that they have paid. Once they click that amount that you're selling will be locked out. Now, until you receive that package and then verify that it's like actually in there, you will not release your amount. But you cannot cancel either, because that person has said that they have marked it as paid, and they have actually sent you the amount. So you cannot cancel it, but you can only release it from your side. Let's say you didn't receive any money. You can raise a dispute. We'll look into it. Keep all the proofs, and right now we're storing the chat for like 90 days. So we'll see your chats. Try to keep it clear and simple. And if we find that it's you who has done your part, and the person who's basically trying to scam you, then we'll arbitrate it in your favor, and you receive the coins back. But if you if you can't prove it, then we might have to go with the other way. But that's how it's very safe. But that amount will be locked in until either you release it or there's some dispute.
Nice. That's good. If there's a dispute, how do you handle the disputes? Because that's why local Monero actually has like real people in the background.
Yeah.
They do have it automated, but when there's a dispute, people need to intervene, humans.
Right. So the way we do it is, as soon as you click on dispute, a notification is sent to our Telegram, our Discord, things like that. And as soon as we get that notification, we'll of course understand. We'll get the trade. We'll get the person who requested the dispute, and we'll go to that trade. Then we have these moderation tools, which basically allow us to intervene, join the chat. Of course, if you wanted to see a chat, we could still see the chat, because that's for moderation purposes. But we don't usually go into someone's chat and try to see the chats. But so for the chat thing, we'll join the chat. We'll try to talk to you through the chat. There's this feature that we built. We can speak to you through the chat, and also if you want to contact us directly through Telegram, we'll also join you there, or maybe even Discord. Actually, we had a Discord, but right now we've not made it public. So yeah, that's how we'll contact you. And if there's some other issue, you can maybe we also have we have our PGP keys on our website. You can email us at ProtonMail, or we have other email, but we don't want it to be like something goes wrong with our database, like email database or something. So we want it to be that everything should be stored in our site, but we don't want to be like scattered around everywhere. So right now we're using ProtonMail, and for privacy you can use PGP. But there are many ways to contact us for support. And if you have any disputes, we'll immediately intervene. And there's this join. We can join chat. We can arbitrate chat. We can we can basically do three things. We can join, leave, and arbitrate. the moderators only they can only do these things. They can't actually go into your transactions and undo your transactions or do anything else.
Nice. In the future, you think you could make this just an application instead of dominated by a domain? Just
Yeah,
because in the future we know that they could take down any .com they want. If they wanted to. I think they haven't taken local Monero down yet because they're using it for information, right? That's my theory, right? You can't take down something you're getting a lot of information from, right? So they're figuring out all the Monero users and such. So I think that's why they haven't taken that down yet. It's partially a benefit to the users, the people they're monitoring. So they can't take down something bad because it's serving them something good at the same time.
Yeah, I think I don't think it'll be an issue for us. And initially, we had this plan to also do a Tor website, but like I said, this would keep taking us so long. Like then we had this Node.js website, Tor website, application stuff, so many things. Like and we're thinking like we'll add like other coins. So I mean, we could do a lot of things, and I don't think we'll face any problems with the domain. But we could certainly make it more private, much simpler, much better, even like maybe a mobile app, or anything to do with.
Let me give some. Sorry, brother. Let me give some tips, guys, on how to use this. When you're using this, only Zelly and Venmo, if you're going to use those type of payment systems, because Zelly does. The reason why is that all these other payment processors, they could put a stop on the payments where when you pay with Zelly, that's it. It's over. There's the other person can't put any stop on anything. I've seen people stuck with PayPal going back and forth. It's something you don't want to deal with. So my experience
is the same way too. Cash App works the same way to where they can't actually reverse payments or anything like that.
Oh, you're right, bro. No, I was totally wrong. It's not Venmo. It's Zelly and Cash App. You're right. My bad. So
we removed them from our website because all I did was I looked into what are the most common applications that people use in the United States, in different countries, and then I listed only those. So. And also right now we only have like 21 countries listed. We don't want to list everyone. We just want to list those who actually would come here. We don't want to like make it all fancy and list everything.
It's just perfect, bro. You got the three most important ones, which are Cash by Mail, Zelly, and Cash App. Those are the only three really that are like used 90% of the time on local Monero. Very rare you see anything else. Mostly all Zelly.
I hope you try this out because I've tried it out so many times, and like if you ever get stuck or if there's some issue with payments, you can always contact us. Like contact me directly, and I'm always like available. This is my you can reach me on Discord. That email. I mean, I'll be there. So don't worry about any payments getting stuck. Try it out. Try like small amounts at first. See how things goes.
Yes.
Have the deposits, try to withdraw, do those things, test it out.
Yes, and, especially if you're using Zelly, make sure if you're using big amounts on Zelly, at some point you're going to reach a halt. They're going to stop you, and they're going to say, "Oh, you need to open a business account." So keep that in mind. If you're using big amounts, just go straight and open up a business account with Zelly, and with the bank that you're connecting it to, and I forgot the name of the bank, but I could find out for you. I think there's one bank in particular that has no limits. I could get that name for you a little later. Once my friend wakes up, he's a master with local Monero.
Yeah, maybe Lutz, maybe you can write up a tips and tricks thing for something like this.
Oh, dude, I told him about it. I just woke him up, dude. He's so fucking excited right now because he does really well with local Monero. So you can imagine now he's got two tools to do the same. So there's a lot of money to be made here, guys. If I'm not sure about all the security risks involved yet, but it looks like local Monero. It feels like local Monero. It's probably a duck.
Yeah, I think local Monero I mean, they've had their own struggles because people think like, all right, these guys must be minting money. Like, of course, right now they're doing very, very well. But initially they were, they were not doing very, very well in the beginning. I would say like that 2018 time, 2017. They weren't doing very well, but I think they survived somehow because they dissolved their company twice, I think. Yeah. So right now, I think they're doing very well, and this platform does well. Like, I think it does very well because a friend of mine, he was a big person on local Monero, like really, really did a lot of trades from I think 2000 since local Monero began, even before, and he was on local Bitcoin. So he has been doing this for a very long time, and that's how we came up with this idea. And he basically wanted to do this himself because he didn't want to share that 1%, and like because he was selling so much there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions, comments, anything? Write them up in meeting chat or just raise your hand. Got somebody, Black Royal. All right, bringing you on.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep, what's going on, buddy?
Yep.
Perfect. So yeah, kind of piggybacking off of what Luke said. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of interested in like, definitely doing this back and forth, giving, selling on these sites or whatnot. Could you elaborate more so on the safety concerns and the smarter ways to do cash by mail? Like you already broke down Zelly and Cash App, and they sound pretty secure, but could you give us some more details for those of us, kind of looking into this who aren't as experienced as you guys, clearly?
I think those who have sold or traded on local Monero, what they do is they have to. So let's say you have this ad which is selling by cash, and so in order to buy from them, you would have to send them cash, and then they will release the coins. So the way you would have to do it is as soon as you start a trade with them, you speak to them, ask them how it's to be done, and what's their address and all that stuff, where they want it to be mailed and how they want it to be packaged and things like that. So basically you have an agreement that all right, we'll do it this way. And then what you do is you take proof. So you basically take pictures. You also record yourself, just because this is a kind of shady stuff. Sometimes, you find scammers and all that. So you have to be careful, and then you have to keep all proofs just in case there's a dispute you don't know. And especially for like large amounts, you have to keep proofs because things can go wrong here. So what you do is you record yourself, you film, the whole packaging, and all right, this is for this user, and doing this, and this is the address, and today is this the date. So you basically try to make it as clear as possible that this trade is being done, and you've done your part, and then you received a let's say a slip from the post office or something like that. To basically keep all proofs, and and then you share it on either the chat messages, or just keep it with yourself, just to just in case there's a dispute. And once you do that, you mark the payment as paid. And as soon as you do mark payment as paid, what happens is that amount, that escrow amount, that amount that you're supposed to buy, that amount gets seized. It's basically that person cannot cancel it. He can only release it. So that way, he's stuck with that coin. He can't like rip you off. And if he receives those coins and is a good person, receives your cash and is a good person, of course he'll release it. But if he doesn't, then you can raise a dispute, and we'll look into those proofs that you have, and we'll also hear his side, what he says, why he did receive the cash or whatever it is. And sometimes this can take long. The reason why we have like 90 days, 180 days of the rule to like save messages is basically for disputes, because some people will claim that we never received, and a month later they'll receive it. So we want to, you have to be patient with this, and only deal with people who are like, close to you, and you'd expect it
Yeah.
to be
So
received within
let,
7 days.
let me
or
help
something.
out, bro. Let me help out. So when you do the cash by mail, always videotape you putting the money in the box and taping it up before you send it, right? So you got your evidence that the money is there. I always do that. And always add tracing to the tracking. Make sure you get all kinds of tracking information and ensure it as well when you send
Right,
it.
right.
And then you got all the evidence you could show the site to show that you sent it, and then decisions could be made from there. So you never know when somebody says, "Oh, I didn't get it all," or the box is empty, right? So but that's rare. I gotta say, you would think that happens a lot, but it doesn't. People are more than happy to continue doing business with you, and then what you see is your rating go up. Oh, is there a rating system, bro?
Yeah. We have a
Yeah.
feedback
Cool.
system.
Cool. Yeah.
So as soon as you're, but only like the other side can do it. So yeah, and also you need to at least have traded $100 of coins.
So once your ratings go up, people trust you more, and you'll just constantly be doing business, man. There are a lot of people out there don't really give a shit. They'll take it however they can get it. And this is pretty much one of the best ways to get it. So there are a lot of people out there that are making tons of money, just with this, just by doing this. I should get into it myself, just for the money part, but. Yeah, it's something to, you know what? Next week on the think tank meeting, so every Wednesday, guys, we have the meetings again. Okay, I reactivated those. I'll invite somebody. I'll invite a friend of mine, and maybe he could show you guys how to do it. Walk you guys through it. Once we figure it out tonight, this is new to me too, so I'm gonna play with it. So
Cool.
Yeah,
Anybody else
do a
got
lot-
any other?
lot-
Sorry, go ahead.
And no, that's fine. I was just adding to what you said. Like, there are so many payment methods. Try whatever feels the safest to you. Whatever you prefer. And if you want me to, like, maybe add new payment methods, which are probably not so popular, like we'll add those. Just ask us, and anything you want, any suggestions, we're open to them.
Yeah.
Definitely
Anybody else got any other questions or anything? Sorry, were you talking, Black Royal?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, I appreciate that. Also, did you say earlier? I think it may have been Forge who said this earlier, mentioning the app, the mobile app. Did you say the mobile app comes with trackers, or we got to go to GitHub to get it, or what? I think I missed that. Like I kind of came in on the front end.
For the mobile wallet. Yeah. So
any
basically,
I'll
Yes,
take this.
go ahead,
Jeff.
Forge.
Any app that is downloaded from the Play Store has trackers on it. The Play Store, they'll track your IP, they'll track your location. It adds a bevy of tracking software on top of the compiled app that the developers put in the Play Store. If you want the app free of trackers, sideload it from GitHub. It won't have any. If you download it from Play Store, it will have the Play Store trackers.
Well, damn. All right then.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Anybody else got any other questions before we roll out?
Oh, you think in the future we could have a way to import the rating systems of good sellers and buyers from other desks like Agora desk or local Monero
Yeah, so
itself?
right now we allow users to import their reputation from Monero, local Monero, but we don't add them up, directly into their, username. What local Monero does is, like, let's say you import your reputation from Paxful or local Bitcoins, they'll add them up and add a small star, right after your username. But we're not doing that. What we're doing is we'll import the reputation for you, but we'll add it separately. We'll show it separately on the person's profile. but we won't add it up, because it becomes very confusing. Like already importing your reputation, but what's the reputation here? So we've only like kept it separate, but yes, you can import your reputation. And right now we're only taking local Monero and not taxable, not other, because they're basically asking us to verify our phone numbers, verify our email, asking too many KYC information. So I thought maybe that's too Snoopy, didn't like it. No one knows what's going to happen to the API. So right now we're only accepting local Monero. It's very, very simple, and you just have to copy the code that we give you, go to local Monero, add it to your home profile page, that's home profile URL, and you'll save it, and that will immediately import your feedback, like all your feedback, score, your trades and things like that, and percentage score, and it'll show it on your profile if you enable it. You can also disable it if you want.
Cool. Any other questions? I'll give it a little bit. Nobody's writing in chat. All right, I think that's about it, guys.
Hey, before you go, let me just give an announcement real quick.
Sure.
Guys, we have Anarchapulco coming. If anybody's going, let me know. Please contact me. We need some more boots on the ground for distribution. We have 100. No, we have probably 250 T-shirts going there this year. All pirate. You could thank a community member for that. He paid for the whole thing. Also, we have lanyards, 150 of those going to Anarchapulco, and we have hats. A portion of all that is going to go first to all the children as charity, because pirate helps people. I'd rather give it to kids than some possible investor out there. So the kids, I believe we could grow an army with the kids, right? So when they grow up, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember hearing about pirate when I was younger, right? So little by little, we build this. I feel like we could build this, right? From a human aspect. So kids will have it in their memories from when they were kids. So they've grown from 36 kids to like 76 kids now. So we got 76 shirts and hats going to the kids, and then from there we also have a special edition T-shirt that will be at the after party. So if you're at the after party in Anarchapulco, and that's Max Egan's bar. So I contacted Max Egan. He said it's cool, and he's going to distribute them there for us. And he'll get a box of shirts, limited edition shirts, a special picture. I think I posted it with Crow on the shoulder of a pirate. And the Crow has glasses on. If you look carefully, so it kind of looks like Max Egan. And we have a booth there as well, guys. So if you're boots on the ground and you're actually at the event, we could use one more person to help operate the booth. It really doesn't take much. Just answer some questions when people come up. My head will be also on the table in tablet form, so don't worry about it. So any missing boots on the ground, my head will be there in tablet form. And I think that's about it. As far as things happening on my end.
Awesome. Well, appreciate it, everybody. Thank you all for coming, and huge shout out to Water over here for not only developing, local pirate chain, but for, going through all the technicals and how it works and everything. So huge props to you, man. That's something that, like I said, I've been wanting to develop for quite a long time, but all the technical barriers that I came up with, I just didn't have the time to try to figure out. And it's just amazing to see the pirate community, take a part of this and just run with it. So
yeah. Also, we have two domains, and the other redirects us to local pirate chain. So local ARRR.com is also ours, but it'll take you back to local pirate chain. So don't worry.
Yeah, if you could shoot me the links, and then I'll get them posted. So
All right.
So, all right, everyone. Thank you all for showing up. and I will catch you next month.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was privacy. The winds blew hard and fear dipped down below me, crypto boys blow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. She'd not been but 2 years from shore when her value it began to soar. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take those bankers in tow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. Before the boat had hit the water, bankers came but never caught her. All in sync we hidden for them, then they began to know. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. No chain was cut, no block was freed, and the captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the pirates' creed and took those bankers in tow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. For fear days to be no more, the crypto sank, then rose once more. Coins were lost, yet we do endure, and still that system did go. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on, the chain's not cut and the block's not gone. We pirates make our regular call, we're with the captain, the crew and one day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go.